Hey, it's Adele from Let's Get Inkie, and let's get messy and inky and painty in my junk journal. So today I've chosen this little page that has a white, like normal printer paper on one side, and then some gold foil dots on the other side with Craft. Now, Craft and I, we're not great friends. We haven't had a lot of time with each other. I think I'm not a fan of brown in general as a colour for decor, or actually no, that's a lie. I do have like 4 brown handbags, but I'm just not a fan of Craft. It's not something that I usually reach for, so I'm braving it today, and I feel like I can because it's still got that gold in there. I see a friend, I see the gold, and I can learn to tolerate the Craft. So the first thing I'm doing is on that white page, I'm doing a bit of a collage-y piece using some matte gel medium. I use the Liquitex brand, I think it is, because it's easy to get here at my local art shop, which is Eckersley's. If you're an Aussie person and don't have an art shop near you and are looking for products like that, they do have an online store as well. So that's something to consider. And I'm ripping up some pieces from my collage box. So I have these little sets of drawers that have different pretty papers and collage bits that I have either half used, like this one had a picture that I used for something and the background was just way too pretty to throw out, and I knew I'd use it someday. And I'm just kind of collaging them on with my matte gel medium. These are some little stickers that I made over on Patreon, that little rectangle sticker. I printed out one of my art prints that are available every month on Patreon, and I'm using it as a sticker background sheet. And then I decide to cover up some of these dots. I just had to chuck something on that page. Now, at this point, I have no idea what I'm doing on this page. To tell you the truth, I wing a lot of my videos. 99% of them, I wing them. And I don't know what I'm doing at the start. It's very rare that I have a plan in my head. I kind of just go with the flow. That's been like during high school and uni, that was my go-to art technique, to just kind of go with it. And it has carried through to my art journaling and also my scrapbooking as well. I know a lot of people don't work like that, and that's a-okay. We're all different. We all work different ways. But I find that personally for me, if I have too much of a plan in my head, I will stress about it being perfect and matching that plan, and I won't finish it. I will walk away and these 2 pages will get glued together otherwise, so I prefer to just go with the flow. Now, you can see here I'm doing something drastic. I've got the black paint, and you might be saying, Adele, step away from the black paint. I often do that too, but I felt like this background piece with the red roses had such an awkward cut to it that it needed something to kind of it didn't make it more organic. I hate that word, organic. It kind of made it not look as much out of place. By doing the black paint over the top, I blended it in with the background, and the red rose piece just looked like a background piece instead of just being plonked on and not belonging there. I knew that I was going to do some sort of writing over the top of the black. It's a technique that I've been really enjoying lately. You may have seen it in some previous videos. I just love the pop that the white gives to black. I've always been such a colourful person, and I tend to shy away from black and white. But I've been learning to embrace them lately, and embrace the relationship that black and white can have with each other compared to the relationship that other colours have with each other, if that makes sense. I am fussing around. I'm taping my photo with some double-sided tape. I tend to use double-sided tape more often in my junk journals than my ATG, which is a double-sided tape gun, they call it. It's an advanced tape glider. I think that's what it stands for. I find that I'm more trusting in the double-sided tape, I think, because it's a bit thicker and I can really control easily where it goes, and I can put a lot of it on and not feel like I'm wasting a lot of tape money. I know that's silly, but the ATG tapes are very expensive, so the double-sided tape works well when I need to put a lot of it on. I'm adding a few little bits and pieces like this feather. I don't know where I got that feather from. I'm sure it came in maybe a subscriber sent me that to my PO box, maybe. But I know I've had it sitting around for ages because it was so beautiful that I didn't know. I wanted the perfect layout to use it on because it was like a INKIE QUILL kind of feather. I go to Pinterest a lot. I think I've talked about that before, for my quotes. And I think that it's nice to find quotes that kind of match up to how you're feeling at that moment. If you are someone who struggles with kind of doing your own personal journaling, I struggle with doing my own journaling mainly because I show my videos and I show my work, so sometimes I don't want to journal about exactly what I'm thinking about because I don't want 12,000 people to see it. So I find that often a quote is enough for me to kind of communicate how I'm feeling without going into the nitty-gritty. I'm using my Uniball Signo Broad, which is my favourite white pen. If you'd like a video on maybe my 2018 favourite supplies currently type of video, let me know in the comments below and I will film one of those for you. I'm doing a combination of a skinny block print and cursive, which is my favorite pairing of fonts. I love typography. I've talked about it on Patreon when I did my chalkboard custom chalkboard video. I was a nerd when I was in primary school, elementary school, and instead of coming home and riding my bike, I did ride my bike too, but my favourite thing, if you had to ask me what my favourite thing to do when I came home from school when I was like 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, it was to copy alphabets out of a typography book. Yep, the life of a nerdy, introverted, single, only child. So I would spend hours just copying fonts, and that may sound boring to some, but my golly, I loved it so much, and I would still do it. If I found a really cool typography book now, I would probably still do the same thing. Please let me know if you had a childhood like mine and you also enjoyed copying fonts or doing something as equally nerdy and introverted as I. So I did do a tiny bit of journaling down here. This page was kind of all about, I was feeling very creative, and I'd been through a bit of a rut with moving house. We moved house in October, which is why there haven't been as many videos over here. The move was big. We moved with how old was he? April, May, June, July, August, September. It moved with a 6-month-old. Which isn't easy at all, and we also have a lot of stuff. We have a lot of things in our house, so moving was a big procedure, and so I fell off the creative bandwagon. As you can imagine, my stuff was packed in boxes, and it was tricky for me to dedicate time to being creative when I knew that there were 50 million other things that I should have been doing. Unpacking boxes here. If I had a spare moment while Archie was napping, there was so many other cleaning things and sorting that I should have been doing. So I kind of felt a bit guilty when I was creating. So I made this layout, and it kind of brought my spark back a little bit, and it reminded me of all the fun supplies that I have at my hands in my craft room, and made me want to get messy again. It was a really quick and easy page. I've only sped this up 1.5 times, but for me, those are sometimes the funnest pages to make. Is funnest a word? Most fun? Maybe we'll say most fun. It's a bit more grammatically correct, I think. They're quick, they're easy, I can bust them out, and I have that satisfaction of completing a page a lot quicker than spending hours waiting for things to dry and umming and ahhing about what products to use. They're a real stick and plonk, and that's what I love about junk journals, that I kind of feel a little bit more free to just stick and plonk stuff as I can. So I'm adding a couple of tiny word stickers there just because I could. And we're all done. The jazz hands are down, so that must mean we're finished. So thanks for watching today, guys. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'm kind of trying to rotate some art journal videos, journal with me videos in my traveler's notebook, and junk journal process videos. I'm trying to rotate them every few weeks. So you'll see another junk journal video probably in a few weeks' time when I get messy again. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye.